you were giving me the rundown. I kind of cut you off. So what did we see?
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. So I believe the Protoss goes air. Let's see. It's like a pretty standard opening. He goes air. I think he goes air into an Archon drop that does more damage than it should because my safety roaches are late. I think that's what happens. And then I just kind of get crushed in the late game because I'm even with him, and this pull was terrible. Should not have done that.
So let's break that one down really quickly, because your responses to this sort of thing, like, this is almost correct what you're doing, but this is why basically
Pulled too many, I think.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's a bit slow getting started. So the moment you saw a probe, you could have immediately just pulled one drone. Like, if you're someone who wants to err on the side of being safe, and this is what I do at the moment, is I always, as soon as I see a probe, I'm like, oh, cool, let's send a drone to go deal with that. And then as soon as we see the pylon, we could bring, 5 drones down or something like that. And then if you've already got a drone in there, like, hitting that probe, like, you're going to force him to, like, fully wall himself in straight away if he wants to get the cannons up, right? So you at least, like, know exactly what's happening earlier. Whereas this one, you're like, fuck, my drones are getting there so late. Like, that pylon's already almost finished. You kind of felt like you had to pull more drones. So getting the first drone down there, and then, like, immediately when you see him going to build a pylon, you're like, oh, grab five drones. It's like the probe's already losing hit points. It's kind of got its panic on. If it traps itself in there with a drone, it's going to lose the fight to the drone. Everything just becomes, like, way smoother, and you're very quickly going to see, like, this one, if it's a cancel or not. So I think just something you want to really solidify there is, like, you look at these little mistakes that happen, make sure you look at the first thing that goes on it, and make sure you're really 100% confident in what you want to do next time. So I'm just going to write these down. Replay 1, pull a drone to attack probe as soon as it arrives. And then we pull 5 drones. If pylon goes down, and if the pylon finishes and he starts putting down more pylons and cannons and stuff, then how many more do you want to pull?
I think I want to be able to put 2 per. I want 1 or 2 on each probe I see, and then I want like 4 per cannon, roughly.
Okay, and you don't know how many he's going to build yet, so you've got to overreact.
Right. So I've already got 6 down there in that situation. So I'd probably pull like at least 4 more.
Yeah, and you could easily pull like 8 more. You could, like, if they're actually committing to cannons, like, the moment you know they've got a forge, there's no such thing as overreacting, right? Unless you keep on letting them
like pull everything.
If you pull everything and, like, you're not really shutting down the probes and, like, they're continuing to put up little cages here and there, it's like, well, okay, we're not effectively using those drones, are we? But, like, we can pull, we can say, like, 7 more drones or something. And it's just good to have that as, like, a set thing. Something I actually do is the moment I see that probe being a little bit suspect, and sometimes if I've been cannon rushed a lot, I will actually pre-hotkey those drones, right? So the first 5 drones will be on, like, hotkey number 2, right? While my first drone that's attacking it is on number 1, right? These are my army control groups, yeah? Because my drones are my army at the beginning of the game, right? So that first drone on the probe is on 1, so I can easily micro it. I've already got the 5 drones by main on control group 2. I see a pylon go down, that first pylon, I just select number 2, move it down here. It's, like, so much easier than having to click on the minimap, box 5 drones, and then attack move down. So having these things, like, planned out ahead is really good. And as I move those down, I'll box another 7 or 8 drones, and I'll put those on control group 2 or control group 3, right? So that, the pylon.
Fast.
Yeah, it's like the pylon finishes, cannons go down, you're like, fuck it, just pull it, bam! And it just makes the hold so much easier. Less scrolling around and panicking as cannons are going down.
Right.
So we just saw an adept come in and do some damage as well. Let's go back and just check the build order.
2 junks, I think. Is that right?
I think so. So with your overlord, you're sitting on the high ground above the natural, which is okay. I do like the dive with the first overlord to see the tech, so that we can, immediately know. But it's okay to do it this way. You're going to send a second overlord as well to get in position. Now, against a Stargate,
this ends up being kind of bad because he goes Stargate. I should have pulled it back when I saw the Stargate, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why a lot of people, if you play against Stargate a lot of people like to just pull that overlord back. But look at the other
I don't see. Stargate is, like, the least likely thing I am to play, unfortunately, on ladder.
Yeah, so it's okay.
Robo right now, so.
And you normally want the second overlord there against Robo, right?
Yeah, exactly. Robo
Okay.
or some sort of like adept thing. Twilight Council first sort of stuff.
Okay.
I'd
I
much
don't think.
rather get the full scout. But
Yeah, I don't think we came up with like a rule for Overlord scouting in the last session. I'm like looking at our notes, and I don't know.
you had suggested diving through and parking in the back corner. I feel like I see a lot of like Stalker first, which is why I didn't really want to do that. But I mean, does it change how like what I've been thinking is like I sit on the high ground, and from there I can see, does he take his the gas at his natural? What are the first units he produces, especially if he produces like multiple adepts? I kind of like it, and I can see like how quickly he researches warp gate.
So if you go to your build order in your document, the thing I'm
Yeah.
worried about here is how are we identifying early enough, by 3 minutes 30, 3 minutes 40, that sort of time, how are we identifying if it's Stargate or not Stargate? Because if we're just sitting at the front, he builds that tech structure in the back of the main. It could be a Robo, it could be a Stargate. And we're not going to verify that with a second Overlord until about 4 minutes or something, which is, pretty
Too
late,
late.
right?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't really know. I mean, I can sort of look at like his warp gate timing, because if he goes straight to warp gate like as soon as the core finishes, then it's very likely not Stargate.
I worry
Like,
for
they're
that
not
because of the
that tight.
percentages. There's two things. At pro level, if you use that scouting, people can fake it out, especially with how quick warp gate is. At your level, people
Okay.
might just forget warp gate for 10, 15 seconds. Like, it's really hard to rely. Like, I
Yeah.
play people all the time who just forget warp gate for a few seconds. Like, it's so hard to make a read off that. So the problem
Yeah.
I'm looking at here is inconsistency, right? If we're letting inconsistency get into our build, or we're like not sure which of these two branches down, like we're already kind of gonna struggle to have consistency, right? And that's why that Overlord dive is so key, is because even
Okay.
if we lose it every game, it simplifies the game. We know exactly what's happening. There's a Stalker on the map. No worries, that's cool. There's a Stalker. We lose the Overlord. We immediately queue up another Overlord. We lose 100 minerals. It's like, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, it costs us something. It's really not that big because it gives us the consistency, and that's the big thing, right? We look at this game, 6 minutes. We're going okay, but we're almost supply blocked and we haven't realized it. And we're floating, 1,200 minerals, and we're kind of like, oh crap, we're just realizing we're supply blocked. And we can see, you mentioned that this Archon drop's coming in. This is not a fast Archon drop. We have no defense, right?
Yeah,
So
it's gonna wreck me. It's gonna kill a bunch of drones, I think.
yeah, and I don't think the Overlord stops this from happening. I think us being a little bit like random with our opening, different things happening every game is going to lead to this sort of shit catching you off, right? Whereas
Sure,
we
sure.
could lose our first two Overlords every game, as long as we lose them in the same way and our follow-ups like really confident and sure, we'll just be in a better position by this point because like everything starts to click together more. So that's a huge problem you want to identify. If you look at a build order, and you should be looking back at that build order, you came to me and you said, you wrote out a good little list of things. You said, just tightening up your build. You're still unsure about your exact layer timing, when to build safety roaches, when your tech should go down, things to work on. And you wrote some good questions as well. So let's think about these. So when should we check the Protoss first 2 units and to sack scouting overlord? So it's really good that you wrote that down as the very first question leading into today, because that is like the thing that'll make everything else click together, right? So that shows you've been kind of identifying the first thing where you're unsure of when you should be doing stuff and how to identify. And that's awesome that you've honed in on that. When do you go lair? When do you build safety roaches? Make sure, Baneling Nest, Hydra Den, Evo. Okay, so I think definitely if we can look at this and we can be like, awesome. All right, scouting, always dive first Overlord.
And when I dive, where am I going when I dive? Am I going like all the way through to the back of the base?
Yeah, just click straight through to that back corner. If you want, you could do a waypoint just to check like the front of their natural or like something like that. But maybe you play a weirdo who goes forge first or something on the natural, or you want to see the natural. If you feel more comfortable with the natural, straight from your base to
can you
their
see
natural
pings?
and into main. Let me change camera.
So like here,
Yep.
and then like Like back here, kind of?
Perfect, exactly.
Okay, I see.
And if you get people putting their tech in weird positions in the main, you might be like flying through, you check the overlord, and you're like, oh, there's like no fucking pylon anywhere. Like, oh, let's go check it, this corner up in the top left or something. Like, the only spot you haven't checked.
Okay.
But I'd say most of the time you'll scout it. So this will be really good because this immediately tells you which branch to go down. And that's so important, right? The fact that we weren't able to do that, and you've gotten very few Protoss opponents, means it's been really hard for you to kind of figure out what you should be doing, right? So as soon as we know it's a Stargate build, if we look at our build order, while we're looking at the game, we should be like, okay, cool. So, we should have built spores around 3 minutes 40 or a spore crawler. We didn't actually talk about the adept, so that was a bit of a screw up, wasn't it? So what happened with this adept again? Your lings were just chilling up in your main base, I think, for some reason. Let's see what happened.
Yeah, they should have been in the middle line, I think.
Oh, yeah, they were just chilling next to the natural. We just weren't watching.
And I was too late to spot it come in. I should have been watching there, and I didn't see it. I wonder where I'm looking at that point, actually.
Yeah, we can go back and look at it. I'm sure you were just injecting or something like that. Let's take a look. Oh, no, you glanced at your overlord, and then you looked back at your main, and then you built a drone or two, and then you were moving a drone around because you wanted to put a spore down, I think? I don't know. Oh, no, you were pulling off gas in your main. Oh, you realized you'd forgotten to pull off gas. Right. Yeah, you forgot to pull off.
That's what happens. Yeah,
okay. So the build order is really inconsistent in this game, right? Lots of little mistakes.
Yeah.
You cancelled ling speed as well, or did you just forget to start it? You just forgot to start it, didn't you?
Jesus, really?
Yeah. That's cool. This game... Yeah, this opening is just a little bit of a mess. That's fine. As you said, this was a pretty shitty replay. I reckon we just hop into a practice game. Let's hop out of this game.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
And let's focus on that verse ground branch is what we're probably going to be playing against. So
yeah,
let's
that's
see if
the most common thing I see.
I think Wolverine's here. I'll suggest a party. So you can invite Wolverine and invite Rain. I think Rain's a little bit too high level. Rain's Masters 3. Yeah, that's too high. But I think Wolverine will be perfect. Wolverine says Diamond 1 on the profile. That's interesting. Okay, 3,800 MMR at the moment, though. Does play all three races and is 3,700 with Protoss, Diamond Tier 3. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good. So just host up any map that you're comfortable with.
Okay.
And let's hop in and I will quickly speak to Wolverine and just be like, yo, thanks for the help, mate. Wolverine's like, sorry, I normally make 4 Stargates and just go carriers and cannons. And we'll find out. Eric Master says that he's very rusty at the moment. He's a Diamond 2 Protoss, about 4K. I think he is a little bit above our level, though. Eric Master's been higher than that in the past, even if he's rusty at the moment. So put Wolverine up. And this should be cool.
Yep.
Sure. Once you scout the Robo or Twilight or whatever it happens to be, remember, we are going to go... Yeah, back on gas, Lair, Roach Warren, grab 2 more gases once we're at 2 fully saturated mineral lines. 3 minutes 45, we'll scout for our opponent's 3rd and 4th gas. Oh, that's too early, I think. I think that should be like 4:45 probably.
Okay.
Because like like we don't need to that should be like let's say 4:45. Because if we build roaches nonstop from then, we should still be fine. 4 minute 30 spores, overseer, 8 safety roaches, full base. 6. Cool. Okay, yeah. Awesome. So that, if not Stargate branch, that checklist there, that's kind of what we're focusing on.
Cool.
Overlord, you're just gonna go to their natural and then dive straight through to the back of the main. Awesome. Go Protoss, Wolverine, and whenever you're ready, start it up, man. Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
All right. Good luck, have fun, man. So just focus on all the little details here. Just really just rehearse the build order more than anything. And if you are a bit slow to react to something, I don't care, right? I just want you to focus on like if you're tempted to like run some speedlings in to surround a probe, instead, let's just focus on our macro and getting the order of things down, right? So like just take any fanciness out of the play, really focus on just the raw structure of building up so we can get into that nice overwhelming Zerg position and get a good economy up.
Cool. Right.
Awesome, man. Good luck. Smash some Protoss. All right. Thank you very much for hanging out, everybody. I coached Day9. Yeah, I coached him how to play Magic. I was like, you throw the cardboard on the table. And he was like, what? And I was like, you throw the cardboard on the table. And then I like ran off screeching. And he was like, thanks, pig. And then he PayPal'd me $4,000. The special Day9 coaching rate. Day9's cool. Day9's cool, though. I haven't seen him in a while. Thank you, Rain Man. I had a great vacation, guys. Thank you, everyone, for the well wishes. Vegan Deity. Thank you very much for the support. Appreciate that, my dude. Thank you so much. Cody with a 16-month resub before, as well as Pickle the Cat and Caliosis. Think I called those out. I may have forgotten. Either way, thank you everybody for the big wave of support today. It's been a really nice first day back. So far, the build order's looking quite all right. Pretty comfortable with how things are progressing. This Overlord, oh yeah. For some reason, I felt like it was clicked a bit further north, but no, that's fine. Could just be waypoint there. I'm a big fan of just going straight through the main and the natural. Oh my god, Wolverine. All right, guys, if we have a main Protoss player who's around 3,800 MMR, please hit us up. Just because whilst this is useful, this is also weird as fuck. Zerg player playing Protoss. I'm going to double gate on one base to start off and, create a bit of weirdness in this game. Which, Wolverine's not trying to do. It's just the off-race way, as off-race players don't play the meta. Usually they don't really have like a Protoss player whose builds they like copy or emulate or anything. They just kind of do weird shit. Yeah, I think I could use you, Eric Master. To be honest, I think I could use you probably in the next game. So if you hang around in the chat channel, I'll throw you in the next one, dude. Hey, Bingo Boy, that's a real general question. I don't know how good the All Things Terran community is. I'm sure you'll get some salty idiots who are just telling you TVP's unwinnable. But you will also get some people who will genuinely try to help you if you go post a replay up on Reddit All Things Terran. Put a bit of self-analysis up there. Say, hey, I'm struggling, blah, blah, blah. Here's a replay. Do a bit of self-analysis. Break down some things you think you did well in the game, some things you think you did poorly. And you'll find you learn a ton, right? What to do against Terran as Protoss is this like super vague question, which people can't really help you with because it's a strategy game, right? So people can be like, oh, just use Liberators. But it kind of misses a lot of the complexity of how you make Liberators work and how you siege them up. So I would suggest maybe check out a few coaching sessions on my YouTube channel. There's quite a lot of TVP ones, but I would not be too focused on on everything. Yeah, he built an extra Overlord straight away, which is good. He'll need another one though. Add an extra 2 Overlords. Remember, every time that Overlord goes down, just build plenty of extra ones. You're doing real good. He just built 2 drones and rallied them back on gas. Very nice. It's a little bit late, but it's okay. So he should be going Lair and then Roach Warren. So the problem I'm having here is that he wrote down and I'm 3 minute 30 Lair, and yet now he's not doing that. So it's like there's got to be a little bit more referencing back to the build order. And this is one of the things I find with a lot of people who I coach, where I go, they're playing a little bit too much by feel. There needs to be just a little bit more referencing back to their notes in that shared document. And you end up getting the Lair at a perfectly fine time. I'm okay for it. I just don't. want that to be too all over the place. You want to be really consistent with everything, right? You don't want to just be making shit up every game and doing it different every time. It's okay, you made a small mistake there, but it's really not that big of a deal. Now, he doesn't have a lot of Zerglings on the map. I'm going to let him just focus on his build, but like this is like really poor map control, guys. He should have the watchtowers or something like that as well, preferably. Now, this looks like a gigantic charge lot attack as far as we can see. Is that a forge and a shield battery? I hope that, yeah, okay, he decides not to go for the shield battery. Thank you, Wolverine. I was like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, he doesn't have any vision at the middle of the map at all. Oh, I did this the first few times on this map as well. Alright, we're going to cheat and mass roaches. You got like 15 charge lots coming across the map at you, about 10 charge lots. You need to pull your roaches back. But mass roaches, we're going to imagine we had lings in the proper positions to see that. Get way back. Get way back, wait for more roaches. As long as you keep the hatch alive, you're good. Yeah, you should be able to go engage it now. Keep massing roaches, and let's smash it. So he should be stutter stepping. Let's see, does he do it? Oh, those roaches really let themselves get surrounded. Not great micro on them. Not at all. I mean, he's going to clean it up, so it's okay. But that was not good micro there. Bit sloppy, bit sloppy. So I cheated for him there in the interests of him fixing, of him not just dying to one little thing. I want to see how he does this next little bit. So this is dangerous because the Prism could have warped in Zealots and he's got only drones in production, no lava, and just a few queens. So even a few Zealots could have smashed him. So he should really be focused on massing his army and macroing correctly. This is like clearly, you know, an all-in position from the opponent. So us being here is like absolutely insane. Even though it's like, well, okay, cool, we're taking advantage of a nice position, picking off some good units. Like, it doesn't make sense to be taking a bad engagement though. So like, he should be like getting the fuck out of dodge, right? All right, you're building drones right now when you're on 70 workers versus 35 probe Protoss. When he's still only on 2 bases, all you got to do is pull back and survive this push. You need to like be really, really careful. We are way ahead, but you've got more than enough drones right now, so we need to just make sure we survive. Keep an eye on that minimap. Oh, he just pulled the Hydras away. Thankfully, Wolverine's not watching. Even this army being here is like absolutely mad right now. It's like, pull back. Why are we sitting out in the open? No. Ah! So I've written a little rule here, right? This is just general common sense StarCraft rule. If your opponent's a 2-base Protoss, you should stop at 5 gases, 3-base mineral saturation, and mass Roach Ravager, whilst adding on Hydra Tech. Only add Hydras once you have at least 1 upgrade. Just Roach Ravager is all you need versus a 2-base player. In this game, your opponent was doing a 2-gas all-in. So it wasn't even 2 bases of economy. It was only it was only 1.5. So you could have stopped at just 4 gases and 2 mineral lines, 45 to 50 drones, and still had more than enough economy as long as you survived his push. So this is all general, like, StarCraft kind of like, I have invested in an economy lead, now let's convert that into army and defend and survive, right? Whereas he kept investing in economy and economy and economy and holding that drone button down to the point where he was going to more than double his opponent's economy, which thankfully his opponent's opening got deflected because I cheated for him and told him it was coming with, you know, not a lot of warning, just a little bit. The game might have gotten a little bit more chaotic otherwise, but nonetheless, you know, he won just because he crushed the first attack well enough. Even though his micro wasn't great, he had enough roaches that it was all good in the hood. And yeah, he should be able to just finish this now. Like right now he's move commanding into charge lots. I know he wanted to get up the ramp, so I get it. He wants to just get on top. He knows he's got enough units. It was an okay call. It's just like one of those things where you're like, I got to keep an eye on if that's a habit, him like move commanding into battles, rather than, you know, attack moving and letting the units fight immediately. There's a place for both. You just got to be real careful which one you're using under pressure. Make sure you're using it right. GG! Okay. Nice.
Should I rewind? Should I quit out?
I mean, you can rewind very quickly, just as a good habit. I've actually quit out, but just go look at like when he's first go to 6 minutes, something like that. You'll notice you didn't have any lings spotting on the map. It was one of the biggest things there.
I missed his move out.
Yeah, on this map, it feels like you can see the front. When you've got a ling on the third and a ling on the fourth, you actually can't. Even lings on the watchtowers won't see the direct path right through the middle. So those zealots walking straight through the middle map. Just make sure you have those zerglings would have made a big difference, giving you a bit more warning. You look way more confident in that game, so we can already see the power of just kind of sending the Overlord through. You know, remember to pull off gas, remember to make ling speed. Everything was just a bit cleaner there. Obviously, small improvements can still happen, but generally pretty damn good. Now, it's important for you to constantly be working on your build and editing it and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to try and get Eric Master in for the next game, if you make me the party leader. Oh, actually, I'll just suggest him. You can host up, sorry. I'll let you host up another map, and then before we actually start that map, I'll get you to edit your little build a bit. Because this is something I want you to get in the habit of, is like, you play a game, it feels kind of good, but there's probably some details, and, you know, you can look at the replay while looking at your notes, and you can kind of compare and say, you know, are my rules correct? Because you're naturally going to adjust and stray a little bit, and that means you need to make up new rules and new markers and things, right? We don't want to get to the point where we're doing something that's completely alien and different to our original build order, and it becomes really loose naturally as we get further and further from having any written down version, because our brains are really good intuitive creatures. You know, our brain can automatically just do shit on the fly, but it'll do shit in an inconsistent manner. It'll adapt too much. So we want to make sure we organize it a bit by writing it down. So host up a map first of all. We'll get the lobby going. There we go, beautiful.
Oh my God.
And while that's hosting up, tab out to your document, scroll down to where I have highlighted down on the second page. And I want you to just look at that and say, oh, sorry, that one, right? That's the one we're doing, the second one.
Yeah, true.
So 2 drones back on gas is always usually going to be at the same time every game, right? That should always be at about 3 minutes 30. Or do you actually put back on later against the Stargate?
I don't think I go back on with the Stargate until I've got a fully saturated second, like, natural mineral line. Whereas
Okay.
I think I don't know if I think that's after 3:30.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that would be just a little bit after that. Not massively so, but we should make sure we're using the same rules, right? So 2 drones back on gas, if not Stargate, it's like that's still very loose. because it's like you might scout a robo at 2:30 going down, and then do you put back on gas straight away? You've just pulled off gas like 10 seconds before. So no, that's too early, right? So I want you to define that a little bit better there. Maybe you just write 3 minutes 30 back on gas. Like, so basically it's lair plus back on gas, maybe, assuming we want to keep the lair at 3:30.
I'm not sure I can even do the rare. Like, do I have the gas to do the lair at exactly 30 if I've taken speed?
Yep.
Like, I'm not sure I actually do.
You get it like just around that time. You had it in the last game. Maybe if you pull off at like 88 gas, you're like slightly short. But if you pull off at like 110, you got it. It'll be right around then. So you should have the money very close to then. If you don't consistently, maybe you just do it at the same time as the Roach Horn 10 seconds later. That's fine. But it should be right around then. So that's good because that's more defined now, your lair and when to put back on gas. And we need to make sure that's really cemented and set, right? Did you follow this gas rule in that last game? I wasn't paying attention to the exact timing of when you did it.
I think I didn't. Well, I'm not sure. I think my cue was that. I think my cue was more that I had the Roach Warren and the layer going than that I was fully saturated on 2, but I think those actually basically match up.
It does, but it's important for us to be clear that we organize the triggers in our brain, right? So this is all about you making sure we've written down something that exactly represents what we're actually doing in the game, right? And this is a really important skill, right? Writing this list out we don't want to look at it and have it be disconnected from what we actually do in the game, right? We want our build order notes to be this just perfect representation. It's like us writing down our thoughts in code, right? It's like a programming language or something. So if you do it, it's after I start my Roach Warren and put back on gas and get my lair, then I kind of just take those 2 gases after that. Well, we can add that, right? We can say, like, basically you could do this as a sub point of Roach Warren, 2 more gases. So it's like put down the Roach Warren and then we grab 2 more gases right after that. Maybe you don't, they're pretty cheap.
I sort of feel like this is the better rule, though.
It'll be about the same time anyway. So
it's just a question of remembering it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
not 3 gas, 2 gas.
Yeah. And you can always, if you're having trouble remembering, you find in replays, you're doing it too early, you can be like, oh, okay, maybe we changed the rule. But I think, honestly, it's like Roach Horn 340. Like, we should have enough drones out, right? You can add a rule where you're like, let's just fix up the build a little bit or something. Like, if you're not fully saturated on two mineral lines by 340, it's probably something else that's happened anyway. So I think it'll be totally fine because if we worry about that too much, we'll be like, it's not saturated yet. But, like, you've already got 8 drones about to rally to it. But then you're like, I can't take my gases yet. And you're kind of, like, wasting time looking back and forth. And then 8 drones come out and you got 22 workers on your natural. Yeah, I definitely should have those gases. Like, these drones don't even have anywhere to mine right now. Okay. Let's just make it as consistent and smooth as possible. So I really like this because what we're trying to practice here, this specific thing is we play a game, we think about what went right, maybe watch the replay quickly, and we like edit our document where required, or we just look at it and say, I didn't actually follow that. Let's remember to follow that trigger next time.
So I actually forgot this 4.5 scout, for example.
Doesn't matter at all. That's like the lowest priority one, honestly.
I also forgot the
Yeah. These are all low priority, like bonus point scouting. So honestly, those are things which are good to know. Go, let's try and remember that. The other things are more important. So that's most of what we wanted to talk about in that last game. The only other thing was just that he was not on a third, and we just kept kind of holding down the drone key, right?
Yeah, I droned too much, given how many bases he had.
Exactly. So we want to always have a solid rule. I wrote one up here in the notes up above where I was like, okay, general rule, there's no third nexus on the way. Stop at 5 gases, 3 bases of minerals, and just mass Roach Ravager. And also, we shouldn't really be adding Hydras until they have an upgrade finished at least, right? Because they're very fragile in low numbers. We can add them like once an upgrade's finished. But you crushed the first thing. Your opening macro was good enough. It didn't matter in that last game. I think Eric Master's good. So, yeah. So what's the biggest thing we're going to do? First of all, exact same build order. Just be a little bit more tight on what those kind of triggers are so that you're really clear in your head of when you're doing things. Last game looked pretty freaking good, man. So let's just kind of do it again and get the rhythm down a little bit more. Practice makes perfect. So
Cool.
let's see. Yo, is Eric ready? Make me a ref if you can.
Yep. Promote to. How do I do that?
Just right click. The drop down, sorry.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Yeah, it's not a right click. Drop down. Cool.
Yep. All right. He's. All right, go. Let's go.
All right, cool.
Yeah, he's good. Awesome, man. All right, let's just get in the groove with this build once again. Send that first Overlord through. We'll see what the tech is straight away, and we can just kind of continue with that standard path. We'll have the Lings in a little bit better position this time around, but everything should come together real nice. So we'll, once we see it's a Robo or Twilight, of course, put back on gas and take a lair straight away, and then we'll get that Roach Horn and 2 more gases just after that. So it should be awesome. Let's keep it up. So with the lair and the Roach Horn and stuff, the only addendum there is if you got like 6, 7 lava, try to prioritize building drones, even if it delays those things by a few seconds. We don't want to be, screwing our mineral economy just to get the tech started and then have no money to actually build the roaches or the overseer with, and just kind of be trailing. As always, droning consistently takes priority. Good luck. Let's smash it. All right, we're going to try and be a little bit more encouraging focused after this game and try to squeeze one more game in after this one, hopefully, guys. And we'll see how we go. Thank you so much, Wolverine. You kept putting probes next to your gas instead of in it and screwed up your timings. No worries, mate. That opening with the 2 zealots is actually really weird, Wolverine. I would advise you send those 2 zealots across the map and pressure them, but even better is just build 2 adepts and do a double adept pressure if you're going to do a 2-gate opening. Otherwise, I would advise you just wall off on the low ground, get a much faster nexus. When you delay your expansion against Zerg, like, shit can go terribly wrong. You can just fall too far behind, so it's a little bit rough. It was supposed to be 2 Stalkers, says Wolverine. Oh, okay, yeah. 2 Stalkers is a little bit weird. But it does like allow you to pick off an Overlord, a few Zerglings, then pull back, go into something like a Stalker drop off the Prism. So I can definitely see how that might work out. I'm a mad scientist of StarCraft 2, says Hobo. Am I? Maybe. Thank you, Radnor. Thank you for the Twitch Prime, my friend. Welcome back. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Zerg Troll and Gopher threw us a couple of coins there. Thank you for the pennies. Appreciate the cheers. Bingo boy. It doesn't matter what's the best. As a beginner, I mean, how far can the beginner opening take you? Masters? I wouldn't advise it for someone at Masters. I'd say around high gold or something. You wanna diverge and learn specific build orders. High gold, low platinum for each matchup. Some people like to do it at low gold. They like to learn a different build for each matchup. Some people like to go all the way up to high platinum before they start learning different openings for different matchups. But yeah, I wouldn't. You're plat 1, bingo boy. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be doing my beginner build. As a plat 1, you might as well do it like a 2-on-1. And just generally, you should be learning different builds for each matchup at that league, in my opinion. Focus on your injects, here at your natural, and creep and all that, and drones and overlords. Remember, you're meant to build extra overlords as that one's going down. And let's poke across the map with your lings. So if you see a stalker first and you don't see the tech, that means their tech is at their front pylon, which means you can just see it by poking the front of their wall. And we're just going to assume it's a Robo or Twilight, which it usually is. So just keep droning, focusing on your macro, and you can just have a poke with those lings to confirm. But you're doing really good. Let's keep those macro cycles going. Keep those injects going, keep the overlords rolling, and keep smashing it. Come on, man. Why is he... He's putting down another creep tumor at the front? Whoa! Oh, he normally does that, yeah. So he actually misses an early inject on this by going creep tumor first. Does he always do that in this matchup? I don't know. I don't know if this is a random adjustment this game or not. I don't know. We're gonna write it down and ask. Creep tumor first at natural. It's a bit inefficient. But if you do it every game, I'm okay with it. Choose. Choose which one. So I got to double check with him on that. I'll be like, wait, which one do you do? And if he's like, oh, sometimes I do this, I'll be like, no! As always, if there's like a part of your opening build which you just randomly flick between for no actual reason, which is most early game build order changes, it's like, wait, why are you adjusting this small thing and doing it differently this game? It's bad because it throws the timing of your build off. You'll have a few less drones because you don't have the inject going in for those extra three drones, the lava and stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, so things can be a little bit awkward as a result of that. Nonetheless, this is looking like a pretty good build-up so far. I am enjoying it. Unfortunately, this creep tumor is stalled. A lot of people do this, where this creep pops up from the third, and then they just forget they have this creep tumor in between. I do the same thing, but, oh, is he gonna remember it? Thought he was gonna remember it. Unfortunately, no. It's also more fun learning different builds, Bingo Boy. In chat there, so check it out. Flicking a lighter or something. Sorry guys, is it really loud? I can turn his volume way down. There we go. I'll remember to turn it up after this game, hopefully. Spores are finishing super late, and it's not watching his mini map at all. Oh no. It's alright, just morph an overseer. Did he add the overseer to his control group? That's the important thing. He did. Cool. Oh, the overseer's too slow. He's gonna lose it. Oh, his roaches aren't on top of the DTs. Why are they on top of the DTs? He didn't know where they were. He could have saved it. Oh, he saw the one DT and he thought they were all there. I didn't even see that one DT. I just saw the other three on the top left there. Oh my god, is that? Oh! Wow. It's not the end of the world. So let's look at his crisis management here. Didn't watch minimap. Right at 5 minutes. 5 minutes to 5:30 when the pressure should be hitting. Could have positioned roaches a little better and might have saved hatch. I kind of am like, could have dropped a fourth base to help come back there. Could have gone for a fourth base plus Spire or something to try and come back. Wait, did he rebuild his lair? Please tell me he rebuilt his lair. Oh my god, he didn't rebuild his lair. Wait. And he never even started roach speed? Oh no! Oh no! No Ravages! It's a Sentry Immortal push, he doesn't have any Ravages! Ah! Run! Yeah, you guys have got to really build a habit. This is an empty third base. Well, it's actually not empty. It's 56 probes, so but it's not a super committed to macro. Like the Forge is just going down. There's no Templar Archives. This is a real committed timing attack from Eric Master. A few good corrosive biles. You can absolutely hold on against this. The drones should have been pulled ages ago as well. Saw a huge push come. 56 probes. So at the end of this game, we're going to ask him to rewind. We're going to ask him to guess how many probes his opponent pushed off there to test his game sense, guys. I would have known just from seeing the army. My opponent's at like 50, 55 probes. just from this army pushing at this timing. But how well does Noctra know that? Because that's something we should be always working on, is our understanding of what's happening in the game, even while we're getting punched in the face. He's saying spines next time? No. Ravages! So you should try to engage in the open, further out, bait and break force field, bile his army a bit, and then disengage. So by the time he comes in to your hatch, his force field energy is mostly gone, and he's taken some damage. But yeah, Ravages are like the answer to all 2-base attacks. Ravages are one of the best snap investment. Only takes a few seconds to beef up early defense. All right, so we can tap this game and rewind whenever you're ready, because he's got 3 full bases up. He's got his upgrades. He's macroed really well behind that. Just make sure you rewind.
Yep.
Close your eyes. Do not look at anything in the game. Close your eyes. Yep. Quiz. Really good game sense check. I don't know if I've talked to you about this, but I talk about it on stream a lot in the last couple of months. How many probes do you think he had when he pushed out with that big Immortal Sentry push towards your third? So when he pushed out of his base, you saw him kind of going towards the third base before that, so you can assume he'd built a Nexus. Did he have no probes on it? Was it fully saturated? Was he at 45 probes? Was he up at 66 probes? Where do you think he was?
I think he was on 2... I think he was on 2 mineral lines.
2 mineral lines?
I don't think he droned his third.
Okay, so he actually did have 56 probes, so he did have about 12 probes on that third base. Not too far off, though. That is actually not too far off. Remember that we lost our lair, and the game got a bit messy.
That really cost me, because I forgot.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't forget spores, I didn't have an overseer, because my lair was...
Yeah. We just didn't notice the prism coming in on the minimap because we were looking at our Zergling at his third base right at that moment, and he got right on in there. Whereas, if we'd reacted quicker, easily hold if our roaches were up there. So, that's a bit unfortunate. But what's most important there, I want to bring that back to you guessing how many probes he had, is these are the best tests for your game sense. Where the game's been fucked up a little bit already, and you're like, ooh, I mean, I took all that damage, but he lost his prism and his DTs for it. What's your game sense at in those positions? It's the hardest. It's so hard to tell, right? But that's the best practice, is looking at these sort of games and going, how many probes do I think he had? And trying to hone in on that, because it develops your understanding of how much your opponent's committing to things, right? This was not a 40 probe.
Up the lair, I was very sure I was by substantial.
You actually could have held on. Were you behind? Yes. It's an awkward as shit position. Especially because you didn't start Roach Speed. If you started Roach Speed just ahead of time, that would have been really nice. Let's go to about 5.
Countered, yeah.
And even just for the defense later on. But go to about 520 when he comes in, and just check your camera. We can just look at your camera. Now, this is the point where about 5 minutes, 5:30, there should be a depth shading in, or a warp prism rocking up, whether it be 2 immortals in it, or indeed in this case, trying to warp in some DTs. So this is the point where we should have noticed that. And obviously, a bit more practice is better. We're still getting the rhythm of this build. You're naturally going to fuck up more when you're getting used to a build like this, because you're thinking more. You're like, it's not automatic. You're like, how soon do I go for my Hydra Den? When should I get my Evo Chain? There's too much stuff going through your brain, which hasn't been automated yet. So you don't want to lose a game like this and go, fuck, I'm so stupid, and start hitting yourself in the head or something. You want to go, it's understandable. Sure. This is a new build for you. It's something you haven't been able to practice a lot of. That's totally normal. When your lair went down, I think you saw the one blur on the bottom right, and you didn't see the other DTs on the top left, unfortunately.
Yeah, I might have been able to save it. It was really tight.
I think you might have just barely been able to. It would have been very close. But in your follow-up to that, crisis management could have been a bit better, right? We could have gone snap, click a lair, bam, immediately, right? What else could we have done?
Made a new one.
Yeah. We didn't have roach speed, but like if we'd started a spire maybe quickly, seeing that layer, we could be like, oh fuck, I know this game's going south, and like you quickly drop a spire before the layer goes down, right? Then you try to like go into mutas. Yeah, there's all sorts of things. But you know what? I'm not going to expect you to react at the pace of Serral or something like that, right? We can do that incrementally and learn little ways and paths, and we can map out what to do when we lose a layer to DTs or something goes wrong like this. And you, I think, did an okay job of trying to recover. Now, one thing is you could have dropped a 4th hatchery immediately to try and, get a bit more lava. We also forgot about spending the lava in our main. We had about 7 or 8 lava, and as the creep receded, they all got popped, which is really unfortunate. Got to remember to box those. Really easy to forget, but this is it. You kind of create a trigger. Like, if I lose my hatch, remember to box those. If we turn those all into drones, that would have been great. Now, you had pretty damn nice creep spread, which was awesome. You broke down the rocks at your 3rd, which was also awesome. And then you set up some really good map vision. Now, our goal, when we saw this push, we should have been just massing Ravagers. Any sort of big 2-base push, and I know this isn't really a 2-base push, it's like a 2.5-base push, but we want to apply the same rule because our tech is stunted anyway, right? We should have been just massing Ravagers. Preferably, we would have already had Roach speed on the way, even if it was from rebuilding the lair, we at least would have had it started. And we would be like engaging out there, dropping biles on him, breaking the force fields with biles, coming in with a bit of a spread. And the idea is to bait those force fields out before he gets on top of your hatchery, right? Kind of like how you set up your fight. If you go to 8 minutes where you set up the fight, having a spread, but if that was further out, away from your base, so you've got more room to fall back, you kind of go in, start pulling back as he force fields, break some force fields, drop some biles in front of his immortals so they can't really close with your roaches unless they want to eat biles. And Ravagers are just amazing in this stage of the game, right? Awesome defensive unit, especially against someone who goes 6 sentries. That's a big gas commitment from him. That's why he didn't have a lot of DT Archon. He just had a single Archon and 3 Immortals as the firepower with that army.
Right.
Awesome. You're doing really good, though. This game was just clean in the opening. We looked at our Zergling, then we went back and injected. We missed the Prism on the minimap. Who gives a fuck? That's like the sort of loss where it's a skill to just go, shrug your shoulders, queue up another one, because you know you're going to do better. There's no deep, insightful thing there where you're like, oh, I've got to remember to stare at the minimap doing the thing. It's like, it'll naturally happen as you get more comfortable with the build. I'm happy to go overtime and do one more quick game, at least to the opening stage. So, because we've still got a few minutes left. So let's queue up one more game here with Eric Master real quick.
Sounds good.
And if the game's dragging on, I'll just pause it at some point. I'll say my goodbyes. Or I guess I could even say my goodbyes now, but I just want you to get in another game and I'll write a few more notes here in the document. So you can still read those as soon as we're done. It's been a good session. I think it's really nice. We've got this Overlord going through and we're a little bit more clear on what we're doing. That last game, I said it out loud. I didn't talk about it. So I'm going to point something out in the document notes, which is, remember what I said, if they go Stalker first and Ovi goes down with no tech at main pylon, the tech is at the front, which means your lings can always see it, or almost always.
And I can go out there because don't have...
Because they adept, because they went Stalker first. Yeah. So even if an adept pops out as you get there, it's kind of like as Ling Speed's finishing, your drones aren't threatened and you're totally fine. So that's like this cool little, just one of those little details. But yeah, make me a ref with that drop down.
Yep, done. All right. He's offering to mass carriers again, as usual, troll Eric Master. He will not do that. He's going to play a normal game. So whenever you're ready, start it up, and let's kick some ass, man. Let's do it.
I'm going to finish the stream right after this coaching session, guys. We have been live for 5 hours and 40 minutes. We will be doing 5 to 6 hour streams in future. But we're going to add an extra day, or sometimes even 2 days, streaming. And we're going to start streaming more often on the weekends. So my Saturday is going to be added to the schedule. Sunday will be my day off. That's Saturday for you guys in America and EU. So rather than being a Sunday to Thursday, it'll be a Sunday to Friday stream for all of you in America and Europe. This week will be a little bit different in that I'll actually be streaming my Saturday because WCS EU should finish not too long into my stream. Whereas I am going to not be streaming on my Sunday for you guys, because WCSNA will be right through my normal stream hours. And I'll make sure, obviously, everyone can watch that. I'll be watching it as well on my day off. And it'll be amazing. So thank you, everybody, for the support. And I'm really excited for the new schedule. I just feel like we're going to put out such a higher quality of consistent content. The gameplay is going to be good. It's going to be friggin' awesome. Can I watch it on stream and give you my thoughts? No, I really want to keep my day off sacred. I think it's really important. I will occasionally, if I'm enjoying watching it, hop in a Discord channel in my Discord, and I will just announce in the general chat in my Discord, like, hey guys, I'm going to be watching in here. If anyone wants to join, I've probably just got Discord open on my phone. And I'll be quiet sometimes, but I will occasionally just talk shit on the players. It's just literally a little hangout. It's not like, oh guys, I'm doing analytical content. It's literally just, like in the past I've done that a couple of times. But it's just more fun watching with people. And usually there'll be like either a few mods who I know pretty well, or like Eon Blue or someone will be in there with me, just so we, it's a good chance for us to catch up. And anyone is welcome to join as long as they're not a weirdo. No, you're allowed to be a weirdo as long as you're not too weird. The barrier of which will remain up to my discretion. As long as you don't get in the channel and start screeching about fucking, I don't know. It's like the chef South Park song lyrics. Just like hop in the channel blaring, suck on my chocolate salty balls. Actually, if you're a good singer, I'd probably still be fine with that. The bar's very low. The bar's very low. Yeah. Hopefully I wake up early enough and I'm in the mood to do that. But if I do it, I'll probably tweet it. And I'll probably just post it in the Discord general chat. We'll see how it goes. Keen to watch some NA Challenger? Shame Jon Snow got knocked out early this season. He's been really busy with, I think he has a full-time job now or something like that. I think he finished college. I'm not sure. Hop in Twitch chat and start awkward discussions. Zombie Grub's a master at that. Zombie Grub's amazing at that. Holy fuck. Zombie Grub is like it's like there's the keeper of keys in some fantasy, guys. Okay, he does the creep tumor every game. I'm okay with it. As long as this is consistent, guys, I can live with it. I prefer the inject first. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever floats your boat. But yeah, as I said, Zombie Grub's the keeper of disgusting internet lore. Like I honestly see Zombie Grub. If anyone's good with Photoshop, can you please take one of what are the Meister uniforms in Game of Thrones, where they have like the key hanging around their neck and they've got like the fucking robes and shit. Please just get me one of those with Zombie Grub's face, because I feel like she's got like a big fucking tome that's all dusty and shit, and she opens it up and she's like, here is the most lewd of weird Reddit lore and shit. She's like, have you heard about the Jolly Rancher story? And she's like, you fucking see in control, just like, what the fuck is the Jolly Rancher story? She's like, oh, this is a chance to educate you. No, Fig, we do not talk about that. Yeah, I wouldn't advise reading that story. It's friggin' disgusting, guys. I have not heard of the Dorito story, Blonde Jesus. You guys can link them up if you want. But yeah, they're pretty bad. They're pretty bad. The Keeper of Keys. The Keeper of Filth. The Zombie Grubs actually are so funny. I have been away for a while, so I'm super keen to see if I can... especially with my earlier schedule, try and do some more earlier team games, which should match Zombie Grub's schedule, and hopefully get some games in with Fear Dragon. Though I know he's gone off full-time content creation and casting, and he's going back into his software dev job, which he's like the most employable person ever. Fear Dragon's like one of those guys who I'm pretty sure it's like, oh, I'm looking for a job. I hope I can find one. And like 3 days later, he has 27 job offers, and he's just actually a very talented human being who has life skills outside of esports. Not envious. But yeah, hopefully, Ravi. I'm not sure. I haven't caught up with him recently, so hopefully he can play some games as well, because there is nothing quite like having the full crew together. Fear Dragon, Zombie, Maynard, all of us together. This is going to be way better defense. Look at that, guys. Roaches, Overseer, the Queen's throwing some needles at the Prism. Ooh, barely saved them all. Good save by Eric Master there. Holds down the drone key. Oh, my man. Starts roach speed. Woo! Oh, this was so much cleaner, guys. Fuck yeah. I'm really proud, guys. I'm super proud right now. I'm Noctur. Thank you, Corduroy Hammer, with the 2-month resub. Thank you so much, mate. I really hope I get a chance to cast a big tournament again soon. Hopefully I get to go to like Montreal. Hopefully there's something before then as well, Corduroy, because I don't know. I feel like I had a few pretty good casts at Spring, but I didn't feel like I fully killed it at any point. The games were great. Thankfully, I felt like they carried. But yeah, I just like casting big games. So I hope I do get to cast more with the crew. I don't think I'll be at WCS Summer. Probably not. I'll let you guys know. But I think that's going to be an awesome event as well. A little bit sad because I'm like, oh, I really want to go explore Kiev, and Spring was off such short notice, and it was so last minute. I didn't get any extra time to explore. But we'll see how we go. Oh, that'd be sweet, Ragnar. If I go to Montreal, I'll definitely stay one extra night again. And I had so much fun. I got to hang out a lot with Eon Blue in Montreal last time. We walked all around Montreal, all around the city. We walked up to like that hill with that giant cemetery on it above Montreal. I think it's called Mount Real, right? It's like that's what the city's named after, right? There used to be a native village up there before, the genocide and all that. Montreal. Yeah, I think that laugh just came through his side. I think it was his roommate or something, guys. I don't know. Oh, this is dangerous. Oh, I think he's got enough roaches with roach speed. Oh, he's going to have to micro forwards, though, I think. Oh, shit. Oh, those Archons actually body blocking on the north there. He's got to focus the Archons and get out. Focus the Archons and get out. Ah! Oh, he's got 70 drones. It's fine. That laugh is creepy. Wikipedia's 111 build is outdated, says Bingo. Bingo! Type exclamation mark builds, mate. 111 is really vague. There's 1,000 different 111s, but check it out. Builds there. Someone Reddit All Things Terran. I don't know how many build order guides they have there, but there should be plenty. Now that specific link I put in chat, dude, that is all my Terran builds. I haven't put many up there in a while. You want some more aggressive, some more proxy-oriented, weird proxy battlecruiser and the like, check out the Book of Filth. I linked that in chat as well. Even a lot of those older builds, though, they will still work. Even if they have the old Cyclone that's built out of a reacted factory, just swap it around and build, just don't build this, swap the Cyclones out for something else. Or build a single Cyclone with a tech lab. Very, very small changes to bring all those old builds up to date. A lot of them are real classics. They don't really go out of fashion. So hopefully those help you out. The Book of Filth, much more aggressive, wild styles, more interesting, creative ones. Whereas the regular ones are more just straightforward builds. I'm sure there's a lot of other contributors up there that have written down great build orders as well. Not to mention Terrancraft is an awesome blog for any Terran players. He both puts up build guides, but he does these little strategic breakdowns and things of looking at the meta of pro play. Yeah. So Max is someone who I feel like I get smarter from every time I talk with him on Twitter. We were having a little discussion about learning and improving at StarCraft on Twitter the other week while I was on holiday. And he had some very good points. So yeah, he's awesome. he's a PhD. He's a very smart dude. It's always good whenever you get to talk to someone who's got an academic mind. They're usually very incisive, really good at cutting through loose thinking, which a lot of us fall into as someone like me who just plays video games all day and gets to, talk to my audience who obviously most of you guys don't get the chance to play all day every day. So I know more about the game and I get to kind of fall into the realm of being a source of knowledge who just knows more than everyone I'm talking about. And it's really important to be challenged once in a while. That's why I love being at events with Roddy. Roddy's always challenging. Same with Artosis. It's a real shame Artie wasn't at Katowice this year because I definitely missed getting to have a lot of strategy discussions with him. GG, man. Fucking crushed, mate. Overseer there on time, came in with the Roachy boys, smacked him down. Really nicely done, mate. Good job.
Thank you. Appreciate the coaching today.
No worries, man. I was just having fun talking to the stream, so I ended up hanging around, and it was a well-timed 10-minute 30 Protoss squashing. So I'm sure you're going to face some more all-ins and stuff. I wouldn't freak out too much over, like I said, mistakes. Like, oh, I forgot to oversee a scout, or I forgot to check the gases, and it turned out he was doing a faster charge load of mortal without the gases on the natural, and then I only had, I went 60 drones, which was too many, so I don't. These are just going to naturally happen, right? You just need more reps. If you can add Eric Master to friends, if you can add any other Protoss players who offer themselves up as friends and just play more customs, maybe Eric Master will be down for some more games right now. So good luck, have fun in your practice. And in the next one, hopefully we can either dive into a new matchup or we can do a bit of review ZvP, bit of focusing on others, and we can just kind of take it forward from there.
Cool. Awesome. Sounds good.
Awesome, man. Have a great night. And let me know. Drop by chat. Let me know how it's going.
Cool. Thanks.
Good night, man.